Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiana of StoreyHausBooks, as usual. And what are we doing tonight? It's Sunday Series Sunday. Yes, I filmed all three episodes or content for the weekend. Can you believe it? And it's all kind of on time. Anywho, let's get started on our next episode of this Grungy Recreate. I can't remember what part we're on. I think we're on 5 now, or 4. But let's go ahead and get started. Before I start, though, I want to apologize for Saturday's video. I know I was out of frame for a lot of it, but thank goodness there's a lot of repetitive stuff there, so you didn't miss really anything. It was just a lot of repetitive ephemera that I was making. So I'm sorry about that. I would have refilmed it, but I already created everything, so I couldn't really refilm what was already created. So I'm sorry. I'm going to try to be better tonight. I'm very careful about being in frame. So, where are we going now? Well, we're going to do some page tabs probably tonight. I think, maybe. So I want page tabs there, one there. Over here, we've got some envelopes to make. So let's pick some paper, right? Page tabs, we could do... Just going to make mini clusters on those. We could do those real quick, or we could make some envelopes and pick some paper. So let's pick some paper. So we need a small envelope there. Let's see. How about we use... What do we use so far? Orange, yellow. So I'm using Abandon and a lot of the, of course, Temple's backdrops, of course. Have I used this green yet? I love this green. I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to use that one down here. And then, let's see, what about... that one up there. Yeah? I think I can do that one up there. I'm going to make an envelope. Let's see, will it work? We'll find out. Okay, so we're going to create our normal envelope with this. So what does that mean? We need our scoring board. And we're just going to score a 1/2 inch down both sides, yeah? So we're going to go right here. I'm going to flip it around, do another 1/2 inch over here. And this is creating our gussets for our envelope. Now this is just the basic envelope that you guys have seen me make a million times. This is how I make all my envelopes. Same way. 1/2 inch gusset on either side. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to check, see how much room I've got here. Let's measure that piece right there. Let's measure this first. I've got 4.5 inches to work with, right? So that means I don't want my envelope any taller than 4.5 inches. Meaning I want the envelope to fit within the stitching, yeah, on the inside of that. So 4.5 tall. Okay, so that's right about here. And let's go down just a little. It's right there. Yeah? Okay. And then I'm going to fold it over this way, leaving a little bit of room in between the entrance and the fold of the flap, like so. Make sure that's nice and even on both sides. So you can see there's a little bit of a gap in between the entrance here and the fold there. I just do that. It's easier to get in and out of the envelope. Also means you don't have to actually put a notch there if you don't want to, right? Okay, next step is we're going to unfold it, and then we're going to cut some notches out of these gussets, right? So everywhere that you see where this fold intersects with this fold here, that intersection, we're going to cut a little triangle out, okay? So at an angle, you're going to come, this is where the intersection is. Can you guys see that right here? Right here? So we're going to cut a little triangle out at an angle to that intersection of those two lines, yeah? This is going to get rid of the bulk of the envelope and ensure it folds nice and flat. Then we're going to miter the entrance of the envelope, just at an angle from the fold down, at about a 45-degree angle. And then rinse and repeat on the other side where the intersections are. Yeah? So just, let me see, where is it? Here it is. I couldn't see it for a second. Right there. And then right here. Yeah? It should look something like this. Okay, next step is... I'm going to sew it. Probably. Do I want to? Let's see. I've been sewing everything else, so I might as well. Okay, we're going to put this to the side, and I'm going to sew this with everything else we make tonight all at once. Yeah? Okay, that's one envelope. The other envelope for the top, let's measure that flap and see what we have to work with. This flap is, let's see, that can be no wider than 5 1/4, no taller than 3 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 is as big as it can be. So 5 1/4 and 3 1/4. I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's the most. That's the biggest it could be. So I'm gonna use this. Ooh, I like this side. Let's see, 5 1/4 wide, which means a 1/2 inch on either side. It means 6 1/4 wide. So I'm doing 1/2 inch gussets, right? And then 3 1/4 tall. So let's do. If I do 3 1/4 tall, that makes it about right there. Right there. Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut this down to 6 1/4. Yeah. Why 6 1/4? Well, if we know we can't go any wider than 5 1/4, well, we need 1/2 inch gussets, right? So 1/2 inch plus a 1/2 inch is 1 inch, so we just add an inch to 5 1/4, meaning 6 1/4 wide, which is right there. Yeah. Okay. And then let's see how tall it is once we fold it up. All right, let's get our scoring board here again, and we're going to do the gussets now. 1/2 inch on either side. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Yeah. We're going to fold those. And this is now a little over 5 inches wide, not quite 5 1/4. Okay. And we're going to fold this up like so, and make sure it's not taller than 3 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 1/4 right there. So let's bring it down. So I'm going to bring it down right about there. Let's see, that makes it still too tall. How about right there? Okay, we'll try right there. Then I'm going to just flip over the top flap like so. Let's see how tall is that. That is 1, 2, 3 1/4 right on. Right? Cool beans. Cool beans, y'all. Cool beans. Okay. I'm going to burst that real quick so I can see my intersections and then unfold my envelope. And just like the last one, we are going to cut out our little notches or our triangles at the intersections. So add an angle to the intersection. Add an angle to the intersection. Miter your entrance. Same on the other side. Rinse and repeat. Okay? It's right. There we go. Okay. And this is our small envelope. Yeah? Now let's fold these up and make sure that they fit before we assume anything. This one will go here, and it fits. Yes, it does. This one will go down here. Does it fit? Yes, it does. Good deal. Okay. So we want to make sure it's on the outside of that eyelet, right? So we can close this. And we are right on it. Okay. So that's good. We'll sew these here in a minute. So what's next? We're going to do side loaders, torn pockets here, and a side loader, a layered side loader down here at this bottom inside flap. Yeah? Real simple. We're going to make basically a coin envelope that we're going to tear off the flap, basically. We've got to measure. Duh. Tiana, come on now. Alright, we always got to measure and see what we're working with. Okay? So this one can be no longer or wider than, I'm going to say 5 inches. And then no taller, because we've got to be on the inside of this eyelet, yeah? No taller than, let's say 2 1/4, just to be safe. So 2 1/4, 2 1/4. Did I say 5? I think I said 5. Yeah, 5. Okay. And then the one down here at the bottom, let's measure it. as well. This one can be no wider than, I'm going to say 5 inches as well. Or 5 1/4. We'll say 5 1/4. And it could be no taller than, let's say, 4 inches. So 5 1/4 and 4 inches for that one down there. 5 1/4 by 4. Now I'm going to check that top one because it should be the same width. Right? Let's see. Yeah, it's 5 1/4. I was wrong. Okay, our measurements are 5 1/4 for both side loaders. One will be 2 1/4 tall and one will be 4 inches tall. Okay? Alright, let's pick some more paper. Yeah? Alright, so we did some green on the front. Let's see what we got over here. We've got some scraps that I don't think we can use yet. I like this. That's kind of cool. And what else we got over here? Some contrast here. That's a lot of green. Ooh, that's kind of cool though. That's a cool one. So's that. I like that too. That's the same one as that one over there. No. No. No, no, no. No. Okay, let's keep going here. No. Ooh, I like this green though. I had a whole piece of that. We use that. So that's some worn wallpaper. Some more backdrops here. Ooh, that's cool. That's a possibility. I think I like that one. I do like that one. That's the one we're going to use. That one right there. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's keep it going. Alright, 2 side loaders, yeah? One is 5 they're both 5 1/4 long. One is 2 1/4 tall. The other one is 4 inches tall. So let's do this one here as the 4 incher. Yeah? So if it's no more than 4 1/4 long this way, and we're doing a 1/2 inch gusset, what does that mean? It's going to be 5 3/4. Okay? So we're going to measure 5 3/4 of the length. This is what the length of this is going to be. Yeah? So I'm going to actually add a little bit because we want it to be a torn pocket. So 5 1/4 plus a 1/2 inch is 5 3/4. Let's just say 6. Yeah? It is actually exactly 6 this way. Okay, let's leave it like that. 6. And then we'll do, if we fold it in half, that's 4. We must be 8. Let's add an inch. Let's just say 9. Okay, so we're going to do 6 by 9. That should get us there. I hope. That one's 6 by 9, and the other one we'll say is 6 by 4.5, 6 by 5.5. Yeah. We'll do 6 inches this way. By 5.5. Yeah. I think that's too narrow. It is way too narrow. That's too narrow. We'll try this again. Okay, so 6 long. Yeah, so 6 this way. Right. Okay. And then 4.5. Let me see here. If we're gonna do this, that's what? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just leave it this wide and fold it and see what we get. I feel like I'm gonna cut it too short. Okay. So what we're gonna do is just fold this over, right? Which side do I want to use? This side or that side? This side. Okay. We're gonna fold this over about halfway, yeah? And we know we don't want it any taller than 2 1/4. So right now, it's at little 2 1/4. So we're going to bring it over here to right about here. Make this a little bit narrower. Bring this back some to right there. Okay, that's 2 inches. And then we're going to bring this over to where it is no wider than 2 1/4. So that means it needs to come all the way to here, right? Okay. Now I'm going to cut right about here where it overlaps just a little bit. I don't need it to overlap that much. Okay, I'm just going to cut it right there. Let's make sure this fits. It seems a little narrow to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem a little narrow? It is quite narrow. I don't like that. I want to try something else. Let's go with this one. So if I want it that wide, that just seems really narrow. I think I measured wrong. I did. That's like 3 inches wide. I was so wrong. So 3 inches times 2 is 6, and then add an inch, so 7. So it needs to be 6 by 7. That was supposed to be. Okay, let's do this again. Which side are we going to use? This one or that one? I think I want to use this side. 6 by 7. So let's cut off this here. 7. And then 6. All right, so this is now 6 by 7. All right, let's try it this way now. Halfway, fold it, halfway. Fold the other side to where it just overlaps. About 1/4 inch, you need any more than that. Now this should work. That's 3 1/4. I think that's a little too wide. Let's go back and fit it. This is the thing about folios. We have to go back and fit things. Make sure they fit within the space, right? So this is a little bit too wide. So I'm going to fold it a little bit more. About 1/4 inch. Push it down again. Let's see if it fits now. All right, now it fits. Okay, we're good. Now let's do the other one. And do the same thing, fold it about halfway in. Same on the other side. Then we're going to make sure it fits. All right, let's go in here and fit it to the flap. It's supposed to be a side loader down here. You guys see that right here? And this does fit. Okay, so we are good with both of those. Okay. Now, before I glue everything together, we're going to go sew these as well. So we're going to stop after we do the bottom flap here. So the next part here is we are going to open this up and score it at 1/2 inch. That's going to give us our bottom pocket, yeah? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right there. Same thing on the other piece, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is hold this back closed. Flip this part up at the score mark, right? Give that a nice little furnace there with your bone folder. And then we're going to remove the bulk, right? Or the thickness. So where the fold is, okay, what you're going to do is at an angle from the fold, you're going to cut inward towards the center line, like that. Okay, see this? You do the same on the other side. All right. You're going to open it up. You should look like this, down here at the bottom. Yeah? Then, from this peak of this triangle right here, or this notch, right? You're going to put your scissors in here, and from that middle fold again, you're going to cut at a slight angle up. It should look like this. This is going to get rid of all that bulk, and it'll lay nice and flat without losing any of the capacity, right? So from the peak of that notch, from the fold, slight angle, cut. It should look like this. Now, can you see that? You have this right here and this right here. So when you fold it up and you fold this down, look how nice and flat that is without even trying, right? Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to fold this shut, fold up at the score mark, give it a nice brushish there with your bone folder, and then again, from the fold, at an angle, go inward. Flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Rinse and repeat. Yeah? Open it up. From the peak of that notch, at the fold, at an angle, cut. Rinse and repeat on the other side. From the peak, here's the fold, at an angle, cut. And it should look like this. Both of them. And you close it up. It's nice and flat. Yeah? Okay, so there's that one. And now we're going to tear the edge here, or the top part, because we want it to be a torn edge. Now you'll want to tear away from you so you don't get the white core showing up. Okay? And just tear however you want to. There's no right and wrong with this. Alright. There are 2 side loaders. Okay, let's keep going. What's next? Okay, we got the small envelope. We got the regular envelope. We got a side loader here that's torn. A side loader down here that's torn. And there'll be a pocket on top of that one. For this one, we're going to do coin pockets with cluster closures on both of these, right? And they're going to go this way. So we need to measure again. Yeah? It needs to be no longer, let's say, 5 inches long. And wide, let's say 3.5. So I said 3.5 by 5, right? So let's write this down so we don't forget. 3.5 by 5. Now I'm going to assume it's the same down here. 5, yep. By 3.5, yes. I'm measuring that within these stitch marks, okay? So that it sits within the stitching. I don't want it to lay on top of the stitching. That's where I'm measuring to. Alright, so they're both the same, 3.5 by 5. Can't be any bigger than that once it's built. So 5 long and 3.5 high, right? So alright, let's pick some papers. Let's see. Sorry about the sniffles, you guys. I got a cold, of course. This weather's kicking my butt. Let's see, I like this. Let's do this one. I wonder if this is really heavy though. It may not fold real well. It could, like, crack. We'll try it. It's still really thick. I don't know if this is going to fold well. Let's see. So if I use this one for one, what's on the other side? There's that. We use this one for the other? What do you think? Yeah? This is that Rev and Rust 2.0. So there's 2 Rev and Rust bundles. There's one, the original one, and this is the one 2.0. The difference is this one, this pack, has this paper. The other one has this design, but it's wider and it's bigger. This one has the smaller version of that same chevron design. That's the biggest difference. I like 2.0 better. Okay, so we said 3.5 by 5, right? Which means you need to make these at least 7 inches, at least 8 inches long. So when we fold it like this, it'll be 3.5, right? Usually I just kind of wing it. I don't do the measurements when I do these. I just kind of fold it and measure as I go. But we're going to try measuring, okay? So this will be 8. If we do 8 there, and we fold it, that'll be right. Okay. So 8 by no taller than 5, right? So 8, hang on a minute, I'm getting myself confused. 8's this way, and then no longer than 5. So let's cut this 8 by 5. Then we're going to add 1.5 inches for the flap, so 8 by 6.5 is what we're going to cut. Remember that, 8 by 6.5. So 8 by 6.5, yeah? I think that'll get us there. Like I said, I don't measure when I make these elements. I just kind of wing it. and adapt as I go. But I know you guys, some of you guys need those measurements, so which is why I'm doing this for you guys. Okay, so this is 8 inches wide. So let's fold this about halfway. Yeah. Same thing this way. Just let it overlap just slightly. All right. Here's the difference with my coin envelopes. I don't show the seam. That's going to be in the back. Craziness, you say? No, not craziness. It can be done. But let's make sure this fits first. Okay, so this is going to be right in here. Okay, now. Torn pocket, torn pocket. Frame. Oh, am I on the right one? No, I'm not even in the right panel. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. I could have sworn. Yeah, okay. So let's make sure this fits. And it does. So we're good to go. And we're gonna, this will be the flap of the coin envelope. That'll be the gusset down there. Okay. We should be good to go with this one. Okay, so coin envelope. What does that mean? That means it's gonna have a 1/2 inch gusset down here for the bottom part of the pocket, and then a flap over the top. It's gonna look like this, basically. But we make it from scratch, right? But instead of the seam like this one here, where the seam is showing, we're going to do it the opposite way, where the seam's not showing. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the bottom part of the pocket. Please grab your scoreboard again and score at a 1/2 inch from where the bottom of the pocket would be. Yeah? And what we did on those torn pockets before, we're going to do the same thing here. Yeah? So just go ahead and fold it up. And then you're going to fold this 1/2 inch score mark up. Give that a nice burnish. And then we're going to cut. Yeah? From the fold at an angle in. Same on both sides. Open it up. From the fold at an angle to the peak. Right there. From the peak here, ankle. There we go. All right. Now, that's the bottom part of our pocket. Okay? What we're going to do next, is we're going to fold, instead of folding this way, we're going to fold this way. Yeah? Okay? So we're going to do this here. Making sure that that's straight. You don't want it any longer than 5 inches, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the flap is only going to be about like this. That flap's only about 1.25 inches. And it's doing exactly what I was worried about. See, it's cracking. This paper's too heavy for this type of folding or this type of element. It can't handle it. It's cracking down here too. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. So we're not using Rev and Rust for heavily folded elements. We're going to stick with Tim Hotlz. Okay, so let's try this again. We're going to pick some paper and keep going. Yeah? Like these two going together. There's a lot of green though, and reds. That's okay. I think we're good. We can mix it up a little bit. Try some other different colors. Let's see, what do we got in here? We've got this and this. More of that Rev and Rust. More green, orange. What do we got here? That's, ooh, I like that. I like that red. That's still more green. I want to get away from the green. Let's see, what do we got? I got a lot of green over here. I like the green. What can I say? Alright, come on now. What did I do? Grab all the green? I think I did. There's more green. Some more orange. Let's see, let's grab this. See what we got in here. Okay. I do kind of like these two together, but it's still kind of that green-gray color combination. Orange. I like that green. I like this green too. I like the greens, what can I say? Put those two right there. I think I already did that one. I wrote that over there, didn't I? No, it's different. It's a little different. Let's go with those two. These two. Let's go those two right there. Okay, so 8 by 6, right? Let's do 6.5. I want that flap to be a little bit longer. So let's do 8 by 6.5. Okay. So we got 8, but these are 8 by 8, so we don't have to cut that way. Just we need to cut 6.5 off, right? So let's say 6.5 is right there. Cut that. Okay, this one here as well, 6.5, right? Right there. Excuse my sniffling, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's gross. Okay, stay those over there. And, okay. So, this is now 8 by 6, yes? Alright, so we're going to fold it, just like we did the last one. Fold it about halfway-ish. The other side over, where it overlaps by about 1/4 of an inch. And this is now how wide? This is 1, 2, 3, a little over 3.5. Not quite 3 1/4. Let's make sure it fits. And it does. Yep, we're good. It fits rather perfectly, actually. Alright, then we're going to fold this up about 1/2 inch to make the bottom part of the pocket. Now you can score it like we have been doing, but I just eyeball it. Then we cut from the fold at an angle, yeah. Then we open it up from the triangle, from the fold at an angle. Same on the other side. From the tip of the triangle here, the notch, there's our fold at an angle. That's where you cut, okay? Now, to make it to where the seam is on the back side, not the front of our pocket, we're going to fold in the opposite direction, okay? So, we know it doesn't need to be any longer than 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so that right there. So I'm going to fold this at about 1.5 inches, okay? Like so, alright? Now, if this bothers you, where these aren't matching up, like that, a break in the pattern, then fold the other way, okay? It's up to you, but I'm going to do it this way. Alright, that doesn't bug me. Okay, so, now that we folded the other direction, right? Give that a nice burnish down. Give it a nice crease. Now, come back here and open it back up, okay? Actually, I'm sorry, keep it closed. Because now we have to cut from the fold to make our flap, yeah? So you're going to cut it at about a 45-degree angle, or whatever you'd like, right? And that's going to make the flap of our envelope. Alright, now open it up. It looks kind of similar to the bottom now, right? What you're going to do is you're going to fold this middle flap in. Yeah, like so. We're going to glue that down. Okay. Alright. Next step is we're going to take these flaps here and we're going to fold them down to where this here meets this fold mark. Right? So you want this edge of the flap to kind of angle down this way to meet this fold. Yeah? That's going to give us an entrance to our envelope now. And do the same thing on the other side. Flip it over and just push it to where it meets the fold. And then crease it. Alright? So when you close it, right? Oh my goodness, I just messed up. I just messed this up. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Okay, forget what I just said. Okay, when you fold the middle flap down, I was doing it the other opposite way. When you fold the middle flap down, glue that down. Then you're going to close this, yeah? However you want. Glue that, then we're going to glue that, and then we'll flip this over, and that'll be the flap, right? So that'll be the opening of our pocket will be here, okay? So again, take the middle flap, fold it down, and glue it down, okay? We're not going to sew these, so we can go ahead and close these up. So let's put a bead of glue on the bottom part here and on the other side. Close that up. Yeah? Okay, now glue the bottom of the envelope closed. Okay, now, next thing we're going to do is sometimes there'll be a little bit of unevenness here. You'll see how it's kind of, not this, it's uneven, right? I'm just going to cut that to even that out. Now you can use your paper trimmer if you're afraid of cutting a straight line. Okay, I think we're good there. Just going to fold it over and just double check. Looks like we got a little bit off here. So I'm just going to trim that little corner right there. That looks better. Still not quite right. Sorry, I'm a little anal about these flat lines being straight across. So I'll keep trimming it till it's straight. Okay, I think we're good now. Alright. Now we're just going to give that a nice creasing for the flap. And there is our envelope, right? No seam in the front. It's in the back. Now you can do it the other way if you want. I'm doing it this way. Okay? So let's do the same thing for the other one. Alright, we're going to use this side. So let's fold this in about halfway. Line it up. Crease that. Fold the other side over. Have it overlap about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Alright, now we're going to fold up the bottom here about 1/2 inch. You can score it if you'd like. Make sure that's even. It's a little bit too high on this side. There we go. Yeah, now we're good. Alright, then we're going to cut. Yeah? Cut again. Open it up from the peak of your triangle. Okay, there's your fold. At an angle, cut. Same on the other side. From the peak of your triangle, there's your fold. Now you're going to go to an angle, cut. Should look like this every time. Yeah? Now, fold this up. Now you're going to fold your flap on the front. Yeah? About 1 inch, 1.25 inches is sufficient. As long as it's less than 5 inches, remember? Okay, are these about the same now? Yeah, they are. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give that a nice burnish once it's even. Alright. Now, I'm going to cut my flap, just like I did at the bottom. From the fold at an angle. This takes some practice. I've been doing this for a while now, so I can eyeball it. But you may want to try to measure that, or use your paper trimmer. Right? Okay, now we're going to fold down the middle flap, like we did with the last one. Just like we did with the last one. Glue that shut, and I'm using art glitter glue. Pull that down. Make sure that stays closed. Okay. Now, we're going to shut this up. I'm going to flap it over this way. Nope, I like this one better. And then we're going to close it. Yeah? So a little bit of glue on one side. A little bit of glue on the other side. Oops. Got a little crazy with the glue there. Go ahead and shut that. Don't worry about the glue seepage because this is going to be on the back side anyway, so nobody's going to see it. Okay? Then we do the bottom of the pocket of the envelope. Okay, flip that up. Just keep rubbing that down till the glue catches. Alright, and there we go. Yeah? And there is our flap. Let's go ahead and cut that and make sure it's straight, because it is not at all. Are we straight now? Nope, still not straight. Darn it. I'm still not straight. Good Lord. I'm going to cut the whole thing off in a minute. If I'm not careful. Let's see if that's straight. Oh, it's that little lip is like... And that's still not straight. Good Lord, have mercy. There we go. All right, now we're straight. Good Lord. Okay, now, done with that. What do we got left? What's next? Let's see how we are on time, because I have to actually do a little bit of my day job tonight. I've got timesheets to do before midnight. Okay, let's see what we got next. We got the coin envelopes done. We have to make the mini clusters for the closure. On the inside, we've got pocket and a pocket here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to sew these. Do some stitching, yeah? Except for these ones, the ones we just made the coin envelopes. I'm not going to stitch those. It's just these two torn pockets, or these two torn side loaders, and these two envelopes, okay? And I'll be right back. And we'll get started with the rest of it. Okay? Alright, you guys, and we're back. So I went and I did a little stitching on the envelopes and on the torn side loaders, yeah? So we also have 2 coin envelopes that we need to attach. But first we need to ink all of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and use Scorched Timber, of course. And go ahead and ink these edges up before we close it up. And of course, you don't have to ink yours. You can do whatever you like. What do I always say? I ain't your mama. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I think we're going to put some hardware on these elements as well. So, got my ears how they're stopped up. Like everything sounds muted. Okay. There's that. So, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was fairly uneventful. I was able to take Friday and Saturday off from my second job, which, yay. But, not for my day job. Oh, yeah. But my new schedule, the way I worked it out, is working. I was able to get all 3 videos for this week filmed and uploaded on time. So, pretty proud of that. Or really glad of that, rather. Okay. This as well. Alright, let's see, what for hardware? I guess we can do eyelets, of course. Let's see, what else could we do? I've got some other, like, funky little pieces that we could attach if we wanted to. What do you guys think? I can always do brads, but brads always, like, the little legs get in the way a lot. So I don't normally, I stopped using brads. I don't use them very often anymore. I usually use, instead of brads, I'll use that Ranger, what do they call it? This stuff. I didn't grab it. I always forget what it's called. This stuff, enamel accents. This stuff here from Ranger. You see that? I use that in place, instead of using brads, because it doesn't obviously have little legs, and it's not as obtrusive as using brads. So yeah, I use those instead. So they come out like it comes out like liquid, and then once it dries, it or cures, it's hard like enamel, right? Okay, there's that. Almost done. You guys who've been with me for a while know that I don't stop the video unless it's really important. Because I want you guys to see everything, and I get more often than not that people would rather see the entire process no matter how long the video is. So, like case in point, last night, that video was what, 2 hours, I think? Almost 2 hours long, but that's what it took to get it done, even though I was out of frame for part of it. Oh, I'm such a moron, I'm such a dodo. I think when I tried that, when I zoomed in, I forgot to zoom back out, and that's what caused the me being out of a frame for so many instances. I didn't realize I was out until I watched it to edit it, or if there's going to be any edits I needed to make. Yeah, so sorry about that. Okay, one more piece, and then we're done with the inking for now. Riveting, isn't it? Inking. But you guys said you want to see everything, so that's what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get. I think on some of these pages I might actually switch over to black soot. Or maybe I have been using black soot and I forgot. Because this scorched timber is like, some of these pages are so vibrant that the scorched timber shows up, but it takes a little bit of grinding it in there to get it to show up. Okay, there's that. Alright, let's attach these, or put some hardware on them, and then attach them, yeah? Alright, what do we got? We've got, let's see, these coin envelopes, the envelopes, and then we've got the torn envelopes. Let's go ahead and close these up first. No, we should do the hardware first. Let's see. Well, of course, we got brads, yeah? I mean, eyelets we can use. What else have I got over here? I've got some hinges. I've got some... What else do I have? Brads. What else we got? We got big paper clips. What happened to my little... What are these? These are small eyelets that I still haven't figured out how to use in the crocodile. I've got some hardware, like screw heads here. And I've got these number medals, medallions, or pendants, or whatever, that I've had forever and I've never used. So, maybe we could use these on something. What do you think? Yeah, maybe? Yeah, maybe no? Yes, no, maybe so? So I've got three kinds of screw heads. I've got these metal numbers here. Come on. Got that there. What else we got? We got book plates. We got screws, hinges, more brads up here, and magnets. And then we got these other eyelets here, these wide flat ones. And then we got turn mounts. What else? I think let's just go ahead and put some eyelets in them for now. Maybe I'll use these guys. If I use these, I'm going to bring out my collage medium. I have been pleasantly surprised how well that collage medium works. I was using it on one of the Tim Holtz's Halloween project class. And it really, if you use it like he says, it really does hold up. The only thing about it is it takes so long to dry. That's the fallback of it, I think. Because I don't have patience. But it does hold, and it does shrink back, and it does dry clear. Just like he says it does. So if we're gonna use these, I'll bring out the collage medium. But for these, let's just do We'll put magnets on these, of course, and then those are going to have, magnet closures on those. These are going to have mini clusters for closures on these. Should be right here. So let's put some eyelets on these guys here and here in the corners, yeah? Let's see, where's my crocodile? Where is it? Oh, right in front of me. Duh. Okay. Let's just do this before we close it up. Yeah? I'm so paranoid that I'm not free. I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I am. And make sure I'm looking. Seeing what I'm doing here. Alright. Just strings out of the way. Okay. Just push that over the hole there and squeeze it down. Okay, then we can close those up. Let's do some over here. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to do these uneven. Why? Because I want to. Put one there, and I'm going to put one way down here. Why not? Alright, let's close those up. And do I want to put screw heads on anything? I'm kind of thinking about putting them on the envelopes, as a matter of fact. Like up here on the sides of the flap. I think I might. I think I will. I think I'm gonna. Yes, I am. I am gonna. Alright, let's get our art glitter glue out here. And let's see, we've got these matte ones. I've got these more chrome looking ones here, but I only have 3 of each size there. I should probably combine these 2 into 1. Huh? That would make sense, Tiana. I got 4 of the tiny ones and 3 of the larger ones there. And these are all Phillips heads. And those are flat heads, I think. Oh, come on, open up. Let's see, do we want to use the large ones or the smaller ones? I think I might use the large ones, as a matter of fact. Get off there. Damn strings. What do you guys think? I think so. Put the large one there. Put another one over here. I'm making a mess. Come on. I think they're so tiny I can't pick them up. Oh, well, there goes one. There we go. Now I have 3. But yeah, I think I'm going to use the larger ones here. Yes, I am. Okay, 2 of those there. And then what do we got left? We've got flat head there and a flat head there. Cool. I'll just dump these in here. See if I can find that other one that went flying later. Okay. Alright. Come on. I can't pick up anything today. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to use art glitter glue for this exercise after we glue it shut. Like, why is it open like that? Because you didn't glue it shut, you ninny. Okay. Alright, let's get our art glitter glue out. Is it clogged? It is clogged. There we go. Alright, let's get this string out the way. Close this up, like so. Do I have my magnets over here? Because we need to put a magnet closure on this too. See, I know my adhesive dots are over here, my zots, but I don't see my. Uh-oh, did that tear? It did tear. I tore it when I was yanking on it. Let's grab boo tape. I love this stuff. It fixes everything. And it looks cool. Let's grab one of the thicker ones, yeah? I have one of these. Here we go. Easy peasy, quick and easy. Just gonna go around the front and the inside with our boo tape. Press that down real good like. Oh, no harm, no foul. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Right, let me grab my magnets from over my other desk here. Can I reach them? I can reach them. Haha. And my dots here, we're going to need these as well. These are my adhesive dots. These are permanent adhesive little dots. And, oh, my hair won't stay up. Sorry, guys. Gonna put my hair real quick. Here we go. Alright, let's put these away. Over there. And let's get our magnets out, yeah? Come on. Here we go. Let's see, I only had the small ones over here right now. Let me go to my other box here. Just bought some new ones. So these are, I believe, a centimeter by 1 millimeter. And they're pretty strong for their size. So we'll need 4 of these. We'll get the other 2 out in a minute. Okay. So let's do the dots first, and then we'll put on the screw heads. Yeah? Alright, to use these, you try not to touch the dot itself with your fingers. But you're going to put your magnet right on the center there. Alright. And then take your other magnet, flip it over. You want to make sure the attract the opposite poles of the magnet. Yeah. If you have the same pole touching the same pole, they will push each other away. So it's negative to positive. Yeah. Always test it before you secure the magnets down to your element. Always a good idea. Make sure. Double check. Triple check if you have to. Okay. All right. So you just have to peel this off very carefully with the adhesive attached to the back. Okay. Find out where your center is going to be. Okay. Right there. And then what I do is I take this and I take that off the adhesive, the second one, like that. I attach it to the other magnet like this. Then I just press down like that. It'll release. Yeah. And that's where it'll live. Okay? Easy peasy. Quick and easy. Lemon squeezy. Right? If your adhesive comes out, there's a little bit of seepage, no big deal. I just grab a set of tweezers and I pull that little extra off if it bugs you. Usually doesn't bug me too much, but I still pull it off anyway. Be careful not to pull off all the adhesive, so you want to press down on the magnet as you're peeling it up. That way you don't grab the adhesive that's underneath the magnet. Yeah? Come on. I need a better set of tweezers than this to do this job. These are really, really flimsy. Here we go. Okay? Alright, now for the screw heads, what we're going to do is, if I can clean it up, take our art glitter glue, apply it directly to the back of your screw head, or whatever hardware you're using. And I'm just going to set it down where I want it, yeah? And then leave it alone. So I'm going to let this sit for a minute while the glue cures. There's a lot of glue seeping out there. Come on, sit still. There we go. And let that glue catch before I move it, or try to attach it to the folio. You can also use hot glue for this. That does work. Normally, but art glitter for me works just fine for something like this. You can also use collage medium. That works really well. You just got to give it time. You have to be patient with it. It will work, but like I said, you just have to be patient with it and let it do its thing. Okay, there's that one. Put that up here. Let's do our other one here. So we're going to glue it shut first. A mess. Sorry about that. And there we go. Just flip that shut like so. Easy peasy, yeah? Just kind of rub the edges here or the seams until the glue catches, and you're good to go. All right, let's grab grab some more magnets here. Right, put them. Grab 2 more. 1, 2. All right. Now grab some more dots. And you're gonna grab your magnets, apply them to the dot, press that down, peel off one magnet, flip it over, apply it to the second dot, and I rip it off the page just to get it off of the adhesive, so I'm not touching the other dots when I'm playing with it. Okay, give those a good press and just give it just a second. Testing it, make sure I got the right side up, and I do. Okay, after a couple seconds, you should be able to peel this off pretty easily. There we go. And again, just find out where your center is going to be. Okay, press that down. Grab your other magnet, attach it to the first magnet, and just slip your flap down, and it will release like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to get some of this glue off of here. So I'm going to press down on the magnet and try to pull up just the adhesive that's seeped out. There we go. Okay. This just got a little bit right there. Just pull that off. Okay. And there we go. Alright, close that up. Alright, let's take our screw heads here. Oops. A little adhesive on here. And let's set it down. Okay. Just going to attach the second one here, and then we're going to move on. Right there, I think is good. Actually, right there. I want to move there. Oh, all right, now we're glad these set. Well, those well, that glue cures. And we're going to move on to the next step here. We're going to take the torn envelopes and we're going to close these up now. Yeah. I'm so sorry guys for the sniffling. I know it's got to be annoying. It annoys me, so I can't imagine how it makes you guys feel. Alright, there we go. There's one. We can make some dangles for those later when we start decorating. So you have noticed, I usually decorate after I've built the folio or the journal. I've seen some artists actually do it as they go. And I've done that as well a few times. But I prefer to do it after I've built everything up. What do you guys do? Does you all wait or do you decorate as you go? I'm curious. Okay, there are torn pockets. Our coin envelopes are here. So for these, in the original Grungy Folio that you guys, this is being recreated from, I used mini clusters as the closures for here. There was enough weight on the mini cluster that I kept these down. Now, these two guys seem to want to like kick up a lot here. So, I'm thinking we'll still use the mini cluster, but instead of attaching it to the flap, I'm going to attach it to the body, and then just slide this in there to keep it closed. Yeah? I think that's what we'll do. So, we need to create some mini labels, or mini clusters. So let's grab some bases, and I'm going to use some die-cut stamps for bases. And I so happen to have a bag of them here. What do you know? There's two right there. What do you know? And I'm going to go grab my labels, so hold one second. Okay, got my little labels and my snippets here. And this are some that I've already distressed and actually put some stamp texture on them. So if everybody's go ahead and use these, yeah? That's underneath here. So all we really need to do is build a mini cluster, which mini clusters, as you guys know, are super easy. I showed you guys a real quick and easy way to do them. Only requires 3 or 4 elements and you're done, right? I dropped this on the floor, so like all my labels just went scattering everywhere in here. So now they're all over the place. Ugh, it's so annoying. So annoying. I can't stand that. My labels get all mixed up. I've got one like container that has like all these labels that I found, you know, around my craft area. That's like the mishmash of labels, and now it just drives me nuts. I've got to get in there and like organize them soon. It's driving me crazy. It's just a big like box of labels, of random labels. I mean, it's a mess. Okay, so we're gonna start with, let's see, something square, fairly large for the element at least. One there and one here. I think we're going to put some cheesecloth on this as well. I brought over 3 different colors. I have this grungy green, like camouflage looking kind of stuff, moss looking stuff. I made this out of, I believe this was the mica distress spray in, it's a green color. I can't remember the name of it exactly. Where is it? I'll show it to you. That actually came out really cool. I was just trying some things out and it actually worked. So it's not that one. I believe I used walnut stain in the spray stain, and in the distress spritz, or the distress stain rather, because I've got the spritzes and the stain. I don't really know the difference, to be honest with you. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so I used to make this green, grungy, mucky, mossy color, right? Because I think it's really cool. It came out really cool, you know? I was playing around with the sprays and it actually came out pretty nice. So I've got this mossy green. I've got one in black soot here. And then I've got one that's in walnut stain, right? But to get this green one here, I used the Distress Spray stain in walnut stain. You see that? And then I used this, the Distress Mica stain in Wicked Elixir. Okay, those two together made this. Okay? Alright, let's put these back. Okie dokie. Alright, so, cheesecloth, color. Which color do we want to use? Well, I'm thinking a lot of our colors are, while quite grungy, are kind of bright. So I kind of want to use this green. I haven't really used much of it since I made it, and I really want to. So we're going to use it. We are going to use this grungy green in our Grungy Folio. Yeah? So we're just going to cut off a little snip of it. You don't need much, because these are mini clusters, of course. Okay. I'll go there. Come on. There we go. And another tiny little piece right there. Okay. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this, because it is a fabric. And art glue does not do so good with fabric. So I'm just going to rub it all over here. And then just take my finger or a glue spreading tool and just spread that glue around. Put it on my cheesecloth, and then I'm actually going to flip it over and smash it down like that. Make sure the glue sticks, or the cheesecloth sticks to the glue, rather. Let that sit for a second, and do the same thing on the other one. I'm going to put on some Fabri-Tac, pretty good bit. Spread it around. Grab my cheesecloth, spread that down, however you want it. Yeah. And then I flip it over and then smash it down on the table. Like that. And make sure that the glue, it sticks to the glue and nothing else. Yeah? I'm going to spread this around a little bit. Cut that little piece off. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Moving on. Alright, we got our 2 mini clusters there, or mini bases. Now I'm going to distress the first element here. We want a fairly large snippet. Let's say more like a medium size, because there's some in here that are quite a bit larger than this one. But, you know, just use the one that's large, considering the size of cluster you're making, right? Now we're going to distress this as well. I need my scorched timber. Okie dokie. Then we're going to use the Fabri-Tac again, because we're attaching it to the cheesecloth. And we're going to stick this up here in this left corner. Okay, same thing with the number 2 over here. We're going to distress the edges with the back of our scissors. Just scraping it up. You can do this with a sand block as well, or an emery board, or your fingernail, whatever. Just roughing up the edges to make it look a little older, right? Or more worn, rather. Man, I went to Hobby Lobby today, and let me tell you, I forgot. I don't know what I was thinking going in there during Christmas season. And it's not even Christmas yet. I haven't got to Thanksgiving. But that place, it took me a solid 45 minutes just to get out of the line, to get through checkout. It was crazy in there. And I was just tapping away my foot. And it was just, I can't stand big crowds like that. I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I can't stand it. So, anyway, I stood in line for 45 minutes. By the time I got up there, my arm was like frozen from holding everything that I was carrying. I mean, which wasn't much. It was like a couple paper packs of Tim Holtz stuff, and then some ephemera. I had picked up some multicolored lights as well, because that's what I like. I like the multicolored old-fashioned lights. I don't like the LED ones. They are too bright. I don't like it. The LED multicolored ones, I don't like those. I like the old-fashioned, you know, the orange, the blue, the green, the red. Those LEDs are way too bright and it looks weird. It's like a nightclub. Anywho, alright, we're going to pick the next size down. And I usually will pick a contrasting color if I can. So this one here, I think can go here. I think this one here can go right over here. Yeah, I don't want to think about it too much, right? Otherwise you're going to get stuck. And nobody wants that. Okay, so we got these two pieces, and we're going to just do the exact same thing as we did to the previous piece. Rough up the edges here. Ink these down. I might even put eyelets on these too. You know what? I might. I just might. I'm going to use art glue now. I'm attaching it to the paper, or a paper snippet. And I'm going to go about halfway into it. Right like that. Just like that. I do most of my snippets, or like little clusters like this, the same way. I have to have a method. I have to have a way of doing things. It's just my ADHD. I can't. I mean, I do shoot from the hip a lot of times when I'm doing my projects, but stuff like this, there has to be a process for me. I can't just create a cluster like, you know, Corrected by Tony, who just creates the most beautiful things from like nowhere, right? And it's just, I can't do that. I have to have a process for that kind of stuff, or for this kind of stuff. Okay, so again, we're going to go halfway down, halfway in. Put that in there. So the key to my clusters is I don't ever have the edges meeting up. So you'll never see a straight line. They'll always be perpendicular. Or even, I won't even put it at an angle. It'll always be perpendicular. Always. That's just the way my brain works. Okay, then we're going to go for another the smaller size down. And we're going to do the same kind of thing. Halfway over and halfway up. Yeah? This one may actually get 4. But at least 3. So halfway over, halfway up. And that's where the next one's going to go. Okay, we're going to get one for this other side here. I'm going to find another small square. I think I might go for this number here. No, it's too big. Too big, too big, too big, too big. Too big, too big, too big. How about this little square? Same color as the other one. Oh, there's a green one here. Okay, bluish green. So we go halfway down, halfway over, and that's going to put it right here. Yeah? So halfway down, halfway over this way. Now see, if we did that on this one over here, if we go halfway down and halfway over to the right, we can do it here. And then it would only need 3. But I think I'm going to put it here in the middle. That way we only need to put 3 elements on here, and we still get our cluster, yeah? There we go. Same thing over here. I think I'm going to come this way with it, because I don't want them to look the same, and put one more element on that one. Something even smaller, maybe. And I've got some tiny ones around here. Trust me. If I need something tiny, I've got it. Oh, there we go. Something like dot. Nope, too long. Let's see, I got some really tiny stuff in here. It's where I printed like stuff 4 or 6 to a page. And let me tell you, that is fun cutting it out. No, not at all. There we go. Here's one. This is teeny tiny. I can't even read it. I'll put that one right here. Halfway down, halfway in. And that'll give us that cluster, yeah? Like that. Okay. Let's attach this one here and be done with these. Then we can attach, hopefully the glue is dried on the envelope so we can attach those two. Okay. Man, my fingers are inky. Lordy, lordy. I'm going to put that right there in the middle. like that. Okay, there we go, there's one. And do the same thing with these two elements, or these two pieces here on this element. Just gonna muck up the edges here, ink it up, glue it down. Oh no! Right, you're gonna come this way. You're upside down. I'm gonna put you right there. That's straight. Yes. This one I'm just gonna ink because it's so tiny. It's trying to distress the edges is a pain, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna ink it and put it down. Okay. All right, we're gonna put you. You grab the tweezers and hold this one. I'm gonna put you right here, I believe. Yep, right there. And there we go. Those are two mini clusters, yeah? All right, let's put our pin back in our glue before it dries out again. It gets all clogged up. And put these over here, here. Let's get these out of the way. And grab our book. Let's see, how are these doing? This is cured just enough to get it, to put them in, I think. Yeah, we're good. Let's grab our folio and get to attaching. Alright, so we got the small envelope will go here. The larger envelope will go here. Yeah? Keep that over there so I don't forget that. And we are not going to do hidden pocket with these. Just because I don't like doing hidden pockets with envelopes, because you open it up and things can get bent and it's just kind of a pain. Besides, there's plenty of other places we can do hidden pockets, yeah? Alright, if you have your strings, watch out for your strings. Remember, don't go to the edge with your glue. And apply here. Right above the eyelet that we put in. Yeah? Okay. Alright, there we go. Just checking that magnet out, and it's good to go. Alright, next one here. Alright. Same thing, make sure we're not in the way of the eyelet. Put that down. And we are good to go here, yeah? Alrighty, who's next? Let's flip these up and get them out of the way. Put that down, flip this one up. And here we're going to put the side loaders. So we'll go for the narrow one first. Uh-oh, glue came off. Came off there. That's never happened with art glitter glue, if I can recall. That's actually kind of odd. I've never seen that happen before with art glitter glue, ever. It popping up like that. Okay. Now we're going to attach it here. This top loader up here. Right there. Yeah? And with this one, I think I just hit the camera with my head. Sorry about that. With this one, we're not going to do a hidden pocket either because the eyelet's in the way and things get caught and torn. So we're going to skip it on this one as well. And just load it down there. Okay. Center that up here. And here we go. Here's your side loader. Alright, let's let that one sit down right there. And then let's do the other one. Let's grab it. Flip this open, and it goes right here. Sorry, I can't move my stuff up anymore for you guys to see what I'm doing. How's that? Actually, why don't I just move the camera? Here we go. Okay, now we're going to attach this one as well. Everything seems to be over here. And I got this one opening up on this side, so I'm going to flip this one. Instead of being this way, I'm going to flip it open this side. Okay? Why? Just because. Just because. I just got a thing about things going the same direction on the same panel or page. It really bugs me. I don't know why, don't ask me. I have no idea. It just does. After the little incident with it popping up like that, I want to use more art glitter on here. But the whole thing about art glitter glue is like not having to use that much of it. And it's supposed to last forever. Now, I don't feel safe anymore. Okay, right underneath that eyelet there. I'm just going to press this down. And there we go. Yeah? Okay. So now we've got our envelopes are in. Yeah? We've got our side loaders here. And I'm probably going to put pockets on top of these as well. Or tuck or something. And then now we've got our coin envelopes that are going to go here. One there. And one here. This way. Yeah? With the mini clusters that we just made as the closures. Right? So, first thing we're going to do is put the mini clusters on first before we put this down. And what we're going to do is attach it kind of half on, half off. You've seen me do this before with labels. To where the flap itself is only coming in there about halfway. Yeah? Just enough to keep it closed down. So you're going to attach the cluster less than half of it, you know, actually over... What's the word I'm looking for? Overlapping the flap itself. You see? There's just a little bit here. Versus, you know, it's only about a third of it. Right? So you don't want it to be difficult to get in and out. Right? Okay, so... I wish I had my hot glue gun ready, because I would prefer to use that on something like this. But, I don't. It would take a minute or two for it to heat up, and I don't feel like waiting for it. I guess I could. I could always just pause the video, but you guys know I don't like doing that. Oh, okay. Anyway, so, let's attach, put the glue at the very bottom half of the label, or the mini cluster. And while you're measuring, you want to keep the flap down, just to make sure you've got enough of it to keep it closed, right? And then once you actually decide on a spot for it, get it out of there. Let this thing dry. Yeah? You don't want to glue the flap down. Come on now. Center up. Here we go. I'll take my glue eraser to that stuff later. But it should just be able to just bend it and slide it right back in there. Yeah? But while it's drying, I would suggest you pull the flap out. Just in case you have some glue seepage, you don't want it to get stuck in there. Okay? Alright, that was this one. Let's do the other. Through real quick. Okay, we're going to put the glue in the bottom third of our mini cluster. We're going to fit it, line it up here, make sure it's centered. And then only 1/3 of it is overlapping the flap. Once we've decided where we want to put it, and we've committed to a spot, take the flap out, and let this dry. Yeah? Okay. While it's doing that, we can go ahead and attach them as well. So, we have the coin pocket here. I'm going to put it this way. And this one's going to go this way. Like so. Are we going to do a hidden pocket here? I think so. Yes, we are. We're going to put a top loader hidden pocket right there. Okay? So I'm going to put my thumb where I want my entrance to be. That way I don't lose it and forget. Which I have done a few times. And just the 3 sides we're going to put glue on, right? Okay, move these strings out of the way. Come on, get out of the way. Lay this down here, in between the stitching and as centered as we can get it. Right? Don't worry about glue seepage. You always have your glue eraser, if you have one, to get rid of that. But remember, if you are having to erase glue, get it off the sooner the better. The longer you let it sit, the longer it has to cure, the harder it is it's going to get it off. Trust me. Okay, this should be dry enough now that we can put this back in here, like so. Yeah? And there you go. That is your coin envelope with the reverse flap. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. We are going to put a top loading hin pocket, yeah? Up here. So I'm going to put my thumb where I want the entrance to be, and then just put my glue down on 3 sides, yeah? Okay. Line that up in the middle, best you can, in between the stitches, and just drop that down and press it down, yeah? And this should be dry enough now that we can just bend this flap and slide it in there. Yeah? All right. So that we've got 6 elements in now. Okay? We've got 2 envelopes, 2 side loaders here and here at the bottom, down here, and then 2 coin envelopes with the reverse flip. Now, we can keep going if you guys want. We're about an hour and a half. We have 2 pockets to put in here still, page tabs, and this full page pocket with clusters on the pockets. So why don't we do this? We're at an hour and a half. We're going to go ahead and stop for the night. That was 6 elements. Okay, so tomorrow or next week we're going to have we're going to do these pockets. They're just torn pockets with mini pockets on top of those. We're going to do a full page envelope here with cluster pockets on the front of that, and with some cluster work on the flap. So that should get us through half of the next time, and then we'll do these page tabs as well. Okay. Alright, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you liked the video and you're new, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you join us here on my crazy, crazy planet with my weird ass. If you liked it, want to see more, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, don't be nasty about it. Just let me know what you like. I take constructive criticism pretty well, and I would like to know if you don't like something that I do. And I will do my best to change it if I feel it's valid. So next week we have... Let's Make Stuff Friday. I think we're going to do some either faux stamps, or we're going to do this new thing that I came up with. It's another kind of tag. We'll just have to see. Saturday we're going to hopefully finish up, or be the next to the last episode of Create a Lap Book with Me 2.0. And from there we're going to switch over to a junk journal. I think I'm going to create another Dark Alice. Someone had asked for one. I wanted to know when I was going to create another one, so we're going to be doing a 3.0 version here real soon. And then we'll continue with the Grungy Folio. This one shouldn't take us much longer. I am waiting on the paper for the box pocket in the back right now, which is more of this yellow chevron paper. I'm waiting for that to get here as we speak. So, cut some of this off of here. And we'll keep working on this big boy here. I may add some more stuff to it than that wasn't in the other folio. You never know. You never know when it'll hit me. So, anywho, I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, there's links to our Etsy store, to our Ko-fi site for free ephemera, and to our Instagram account. So, tag us on Instagram if you are making stuff. I'll also put in the description a list of supplies that I used in this video, and any other important information I feel like you need to know. Okay? Alright, you guys, don't forget to leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Bye!